We have a 138 in progress. Take this out! Take this out! Take this out!
Okay, welcome to the first episode of this current, we're going to call it a talk show for now. This is going to be, for now, time being, hopefully permanent, is going to be my co-host here.
Natsu712, also known as Natsu. People, catch me on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Instagram, and Twitch. Also, use code Natsu712 for any of your purchases over on wenergy.gg.
Alright, and I'm D-Nag, of course. Most of you know me as the artist D-Nag, but this is going to be a different direction for us, or for me mainly. This is hopefully going to be the start of eventually an actual full-out live stream that happens every week, where we talk about certain stuff, let people come on and talk about whatever they want to talk about, be heard, give them a chance to be heard and whatnot. But they honestly, right now, I feel like talking about the fact that a lot of stuff happens. A lot of situations get really bad, especially when it comes to a relationship where you feel the need to, one of them feels the need to take a break. What it's called?
Yeah, there ain't no such thing as a break, my boy. See,
Yeah.
a break is definitely just code for, I want to cheat, but I don't want to feel guilty about it.
Yeah. And I definitely, and more or less I agree, because it's like, in a scenario where you have problems with somebody, with that significant other you have, if you truly actually love them, people need to realize that you can realistically fix any sort of situation if both of you actually want to work it out.
It's called love, people. Love, but if you spell it backwards, it's evil.
And it's also a situation where it's like, why would you want to, quote, step away from that person, go feel everything else out, go cheat, and then just come back and claim that you were on a break so it doesn't count? Is where I realistically feel like sometimes, and I'm not saying all situations are like this, because and every situation's different. Kind of like my situations are probably different from his situations. But most of the time, I find that when people take a break, one of the two is going to end up going and doing those things with somebody else, being like, no, that's not what I want. That's not what I want, and come back. But then when you find out, then the other one finds out and claims, well, you pretty much cheated on me. Well, then they use the excuse, no, we were on a break. It doesn't count. But you came back and said, oh, let's get back together. We were on a break. It's okay. We're back together now. No, you're just using that excuse to find a reason to go do something else with somebody. If you realistically love someone, you shouldn't want to do that. And it's like, any realistically situation can be fixed with a lot of forgiveness and a lot of just working together as a team.
That's what being in a relationship is about, working as a team, getting towards your goals as a team, instead of, hey, we should take a break. Why? There ain't nothing going on in the relationship that should be leading to even a break. Well, I just need time to find myself. Okay, well then block me and get rid of my number, because we're not doing a break, we're breaking up. That's what a lot of the people in our generation, sadly, don't seem to kind of get. And that's what has led to so many, statistic-wise, that's sadly what's led to probably a lot of men killing themselves and raising that statistic. And there's so many other factors that can go into that too, just as, they flat out cheat on you, they emotionally abuse you or physically abuse you, and this is going for both men and women. It's equal. It's just, if you're in a relationship with someone, you need to be building them up. And yes, sometimes you do need to be an asshole, as in, like, get off your ass, go make something of yourself, do this, do that. That's not controlling. That's motivating them. That's lighting the fire under their ass. And what a lot of people don't seem to understand is manipulation and motivation. You gotta kind of figure out the difference between the two. You gotta know when that is.
And there's a very fine line between that. Like you said, manipulation and motivation are two completely different things.
Yeah.
Because you can be seeming like somebody's motivating you, but in reality, they're trying to manipulate you to do something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell you through a guy, or through my mind, when I think of the fact that somebody takes a break, then they go do those things with somebody else and come back, well, then that goes through my mind, well, like, that you cheated. What am I supposed to do? I took a break and figured myself out, and I sat here and waited, and I improved myself, and I realized that I had stuff that I had to work on in order to better our situation. You went and slept with somebody and then came back. But that's not working on yourself for the betterment of a relationship. That's going and screwing around with everybody else, with somebody else, and then realizing that you don't want that, and then coming back. Through my mind, that's like, well, that makes me feel bad, and that makes me feel really even worse about myself in a general situation, and I'm not in a scenario where it seems like we get caught up in the fact that it gets to a situation where social media and like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, there's so many easy ways for temptation to get caught in between two people. I truly care. Like, you'll have, like, women get so many DMs from men that just don't give two cares whether you're in a relationship or not. They're gonna hit on you, they're gonna do this, and they're gonna tempt you. It gets caught into that situation so many times, and so many situations where it's like social media has really ruined the fact that relationships, basically more than half of the time, will get ruined or will get strained because of the fact that there's a lot of people that will try and get in the middle of it and try and get their opinions on it and try to hit on somebody even when they're in their relationship and when they don't care.
Right. And that's where one of the big core things of a relationship comes into play is that loyalty to your significant other. As in, are you going to stay loyal or are you going to fumble, so to speak?
Or it's even more or less, it's just like transparency is really more of a really big thing that could really, I feel, could really help. Where you be transparent with that other person, like, not even like showing off that, hey, there's all these people hitting me up on DMs where like, hey.
Just explain to them,
It's whether or not the person actually responds to those certain texts. It's not more or less the fact that somebody's on that person's phone trying to talk to them, but it's more the fact that are they entertaining that person or are they responding?
Yeah.
Because if you're responding, entertaining them, then yes, that's not okay. You shouldn't be entertaining them and really more or less caring about their feelings because they're not part of that relationship. But it's more or less the fact that are they actually responding to it, actually entertaining it and bringing it along just to save that person's feelings?
Right.
That shouldn't be the case. You should be like, hey, look, no, you can. I get it, but I'm in a relationship. That's it. That's all you gotta say, and that's it. And be like, hey, I've constantly got people hitting me up, but I don't entertain it. And you don't even have to go that way. You don't have to go that route and being. No, it's just the fact that they entertain it so many times to the point where eventually they start actually going along with it and actually caring and hiding it instead of doing anything.
Yeah.
And being transparent is where transparency, I feel like, really probably could help. And that's where it's kind of like I said in the video that I posted, if you guys didn't look at it, situations like this where you do end up breaking up with somebody and you do end up getting cheated on, you're going to miss somebody. You're going to miss somebody a lot when you're trying to get over them. And you're not necessarily even get over them. It's more or less the fact that you find ways to deal with the pain more and move on and improve yourself. Because you can't just sit there and say, "Oh, I got cheated on. This is the worst thing ever," and then just kind of sit flatline. You have to improve yourself. But it's more or less the fact that most of the time they will realize once they've cheated that I messed up. They actually cared more than I realize, and they're going to want to come back. And now most of the time, if it actually is meant to be, then yes, a lot of people say if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Any situation realistically, I feel like, can be meant to be, but it takes both people to want to work on it and want to change it and want to look at the situation, accept the past as a past, and move on to a new situation as long as you prove that it will not happen again. If you read a book and nothing changes about that story, it's gonna end the same exact way every single time. If you look at it and the same things happen in timeline in that story and nothing changes, the story's gonna end the same way. And you got to realize that.
Yeah.
If you don't realistically both talk to each other out and try and say, "Hey, I get it, this happened, but I want this to be better, and so do you. So let's accept it, move on, and change the story this time compared to letting the same things happen. Because if the same things happen, it's going to end."
That, and we were speaking on an incident that, has recently occurred. And like I was telling you, sometimes said person in whatever situation will feel guilty, and they want that guilt to be passed on to you because they don't want to feel it, so they'll act all different, they'll make you believe in something, and then as soon as you get your head back in the game, bam, they'll tell you that you fucked up, you did this, you did that, and then you feel those emotions that they're secretly feeling, and then it gets your head all twisted, and then you're pretty much back at square one.
And that's not even anybody doing anything. Realistically, I feel it's more or less not anybody's fault or anybody doing anything. It's more or less the fact that it's the world telling you in your situation that you have to change something.
Yeah.
You have to do something about yourself to pick yourself up, dust your shoulders off, and move forward with your life instead of being in the same situation. Because again, if you don't change something about your story, it's going to end every single time the exact same way. It has to be up to you. It has to be up to you to change your situation in order to improve yourself. Which you got to realize, and sometimes it's just the reality of the fact that things sometimes are meant to be done by yourself. You can't have everybody's help all of the time. Realistically, if you put yourself in a room of everyone that's going to pay your bills at the end of the day, that's going to live your life, sleep in your bed, and wear your clothes and your shoes at the end of the day, you're going to be in a room by yourself.
Yep.
You got to realize that your life is your life.
That, and it's just like from a video I found on, I was scrolling through Instagram, I think. It said, if you are not comfortable in your life, if you are not seeing any change in your life and you feel as if you are stuck, then that's what you deserve, because you are not doing anything in your power to change that. You're not doing anything to make your life better, not improving mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever. And then they went on to say, if I were to, let's say me and you went outside in the desert somewhere and I had you try to lay down on a bed of hot coals, you wouldn't do it. You'd get right back up and go, ow, no, don't want that. And you change the situation around because you got up and you did something. That's exactly what people who feel like that need to be doing in their life. They need to be able to take charge of their life. And just as I said, just like laying on that bed of hot coals and bouncing right off and saying, nope, don't want that. If you're sitting here today and you're telling yourself, no, I don't want this to be the rest of my life, then take charge, do something. And honestly, if you have people that hate you along the way, then you're doing it correct. If you're not pissing anybody off on your way up to where you want to fucking be, then, I mean, you're doing it wrong if you're not pissing people off. Because look at all these multimillionaires. Look at how many enemies they have. And I mean, they're still multimillionaires, right? Mm-hmm. Exactly. Who gives a fuck if let's say I blow up, right? Let's say I get millions of dollars and JoJo and whoever else fucking hates me and all this and that. That means I'm doing it right. Because if people aren't pissed off by the fact that I'm succeeding, then I'm doing it wrong. If they're sitting there laughing at me, I'm doing it wrong. Either way, you're going to have haters. You're going to have people that laugh at you. Boo fucking who? Get over it. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, it's how you, yourself, and I, in third person, obviously, because, like I said, it's all you. At the end of the day, that's all it is. It's all you. It's not you and this person, you and that person. It's all you. And it's up to you to take charge.
Yep. In the end, you're going to be the one that lives your life, and you have to change your life. Nobody else will come in and save your life but you.
Yep.
The moment people realize that, and the moment you think, no one's going to save my life, no one's going to save me from my life and the choices that I make but myself. I have the control. I have the power, and I have the control to change exactly what I want in my life whenever I want. It's going to piss people off. But they're not living your life and they're not paying your bills at the end of the day.
Yep.
Your money is paying your bills. You are paying your bills. You are working to get that money to pay your bills. It's going to be you. Every time. You can't expect everybody else to change in order to change your life. You have to do it. And it's going to be a situation where it is what it is. And sometimes that saying kind of goes repeated a lot or almost unsaid sometimes. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You make a choice, it is what it is. A movie once said this, and a lot of people don't watch these movies, but it's all right. It comes from the Fast and Furious series. I'll credit that. A lot of people let fear lead them. They get scared of a choice in fear that it's going to make a lot of change. You can't let fear lead you. You have to make a choice and not look back. You have to make a decision and keep going and don't think about the changes that happen because there's going to be a lot of changes when you make a choice. No, that's not exactly what it said. I think I'm kind of paraphrasing there, but in general, you have to make a choice and you can't let fear lead that choice and dictate what you do in that choice. You have to think about what is better for myself in this situation. I make a choice and I go that route and there's no going back because you're not going to be able to go back. It's not like a video game. You can't rewind to make that choice. Once you make that choice, that's it. You get one chance at making that choice and you make the choice deciding on what you feel is best and you go about it and do it.
Yep.
You can't look back at it because the past is the past. There's not going to be yesterday. There's no more yesterday. There is no more tomorrow. It is only today. And only today you're going to make those choices and you're not going to do it. You can't do anything about it. Once you go to bed that night, that's it.
And I mean, for example, I'll use me as an example. It's just like when everyone started to realize that I was streaming consistently, playing Overwatch 2. They would sit there and, I'd have a couple people say, why are you streaming? Why aren't you making music? I thought you were making music, so on and so forth. I still am, but like I told you on that morning on our way to work, why are we the ones getting up at 4 a.m. when we want to be the ones waking up whenever the hell we feel like it, driving nice-ass cars, smoking cigars, doing whatever the fuck we want to every day? That right there in my mind is when I literally just told myself, I'm going to find a job where, it's the hours I want, because obviously not pissing you off, just saying not everyone is the same. And I mean, you know me, I'm not a morning person.
Yeah.
So that's why I went to another business, applied, tried getting hired, and their fucking website decided to fuck me over. And so I got pissed off and I just said, fuck it. One day, went out on a limb, decided to say, fuck it, started streaming. And I've been streaming every fucking night since. Because I know if I put in the work, if I fucking grind my ass off, I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for shit. I'm in it because I want to do it. And honestly, I can't sit here and say I'm not in it for the money. Because at the end of the day, and everybody watching this and soon to be watching this can sit here and lie to my face all they want that if there's some big time musician, they're not in it for the money, my ass. You are at some point, at some level, doing it for money. Because if you're doing something you love, you're making money. That's the reality of the situation. Now, I could go from Twitch over to YouTube, drop some videos, who knows? I could do whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and lie to everyone saying I'm not in it for the money. That's why I corrected myself. Because at the end of the day, yeah, we're humans. We're going to do what we love for money. At some fucking level in our mind, we're doing it because we want to do it, we love to do it, and we love the money that comes with it. That's why half of these entrepreneurs you guys see walking around are just in their own world, just having a great time because they love what they're doing and they're making a shit ton of money doing it.
Yeah.
And that's why I sent you that video, what was it, last night, where it was like, fuck the drugs, fuck the cigarettes, fuck that dumb bitch. This is where it begins. This is where we take charge. Fuck 22. 2023, we're going in like fucking Marines this year. We're going to get back what belongs to us. And that includes everybody watching this too.
Yeah. It's getting ahead and you realize is that in reality, the world's going to be against you no matter what you do.
Yep.
The world's not going to be exactly the way you want it to be in every way possible. The world's going to try and hit you quite a few times and try to keep you down. You know, the last couple months for even me personally, I won't go into too much detail, but the world has constantly tried to beat me down to my knees and keep me there. But look where I'm sitting, look where I'm standing. I am still here. It has gotten to the point where I can see every day, it was like, how am I still going? How am I still going? And to be honest, I can't tell you. I can't tell you how I'm still going. But if you get up in the morning, you're still meant to do something here on this planet. Mm-hmm. As long as you get up in the morning, every day is not a right. It is a given gift. Every day is a gift. So if you wake up in the morning, you still have something to do on this planet. And there's no doubt about it. You wake up in the morning, you've still got something to do. You've still got to get out of that bed, and you still got to go to work, and you still have something to do in some way of changing either somebody's life, making an impression on somebody, or changing your own life for the better. The world will give the people who can handle it the most amount of obstacles to change over. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how difficult it gets, you see those people, they get up in the morning, and they're still going. No matter how bad it gets, no matter how difficult it becomes, they will get up in the morning, they will get out of bed, and they will go do something about it because they say, all right, I'm still up. I'm still woke up this morning. Don't want to. But I'm still here, so I've still got something to do. That's all I've said in my life nowadays. I still have my life to change because I get up in the morning. If I wake up in the morning, I've still got something to do. And if someday I don't end up waking up in the morning, then it is what it is. But I want to make a change to even if these words somehow change somebody's perspective on their own life, that makes me happy more than anything. Because I want to be able to change somebody's life. I want to be able to either change my life for the better, change somebody else's, or somebody who's viewing this right now. I want to change their life, make a difference with people because, yeah, you got to do it as the standpoint of it is only you and nobody's going to come in and save your life but you. But who's to say you can't make a difference? Excuse me. Who's to say you can't make a difference in somebody's life? Because you can. If you absolutely want to, if you have a way, if you have a passion of changing somebody's life, you can do it. You can do anything realistically you set your mind to, because there's no way you can't. Because if you really do it, if you really set your mind to it and you really want to do it, then you are going to do it. And nobody can tell you otherwise. Just like if somebody watching this, say, if you're not happy, and say you are realistically not happy with your life, who else is going to change it? Nobody. Is some doctor going to come in and magically change the fact that you're all of a sudden happy now? No. Is some this is not discrediting therapy in any way, just in saying, but is some therapist going to come in and automatically change everything about your life just to make you happy? No. Because in the end, you're the one talking about your situation, and you're the one that has to put in the effort to change your life. Even talking to a therapist, they're just there for you to talk to. Realistically, when it goes down to the bare factor of what changes in your life, it is yourself in any way possible. You can change your life in any aspect of your life if you want to. If you want it to change. You can't expect everybody else to change your life, because it won't happen, and you will stay the exact same way no matter how many times you try. You have to get down to the point where you realize that the only factor that is changing your life is you. You have to put in the effort. You have to do the work. And you have to make sure, and you're the only one waking up in your skin, in your body, every morning. It is you. Where it comes down to the point where no matter how many times you care about somebody, no matter how many times you care about the ones in your life, you're the only one waking up in the morning in your body. You are the only mind up there. You are the only soul in here. That is your heart pumping blood through your body. So it is your choice, your life, and the way you want to do it. You can be sad and not be happy with your life all you want. That's perfectly okay. Because I'm not saying it's not. It is okay to be sad, and it is okay to be upset about things.
Let yourself have that moment. But after that moment is done, turn that shit into motivation.
If it doesn't piss you off that your life is not, if your life is not the way you want it, and it doesn't piss you off that way, then you're doing something wrong. And you need to change your mind about it, because it should piss you off that you are not exactly that your life is not the way you want it. You don't have to go around wanting all the money in the world and wanting all these fancy cars. I'm not saying that.
You could have a simple ass life and still be happy.
If that's the way you want it, then go get it. There's nobody stopping you, and there's nobody saying that you can't, because you can. And you perfectly can.
Oh, yeah.
If it doesn't piss you off that you don't have the things that you want in your life, you're doing something wrong, and it needs to piss you off. It absolutely needs to piss you off in order to be able to change something that you want. You can change anything about your life if you absolutely work on it. Because don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something. Because you can. No matter what it is. If you want to be happier in your life, it is you that has to put in the work and change it. If you wake up in the morning hating yourself, there's nobody else going to tell you that. There's nobody else that's going to change your mind but you. You have to put in the work no matter what anybody else says. Because it's a fact that nobody else should be able to take your power away from you. Because you have the power to change your life, and nobody should be able to take that power away from you and say there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. That you permanently have something wrong with you, and there's nothing you can do about it. That is wrong. You can change any aspect of your life if you want it to. That's all it comes down to. It's all about you.
It's all about perception of the mind.
Failure
can be turned into success. You take the failure as a lesson. You take that lesson. You go again. Don't be scared to fail.
Failure is only a state of mind. That's all it is. You perceive the fact that you failed and there's nothing you can do about it. But there is. Look at the person who invented the light bulb. He tried 100 times before he found a way to create the light bulb. He didn't find 100 ways to fail. He just found 100 ways not to do it. Mm-hmm. So you get up and you redo it and you keep going until there's nothing stopping you until you finally succeed. Do it anyway. Do it anyway, even if you don't feel like it. That is always the motivation. That is always the words that I've always said every morning to myself. Do it anyway, even if you don't feel like it. Because once you get to that point where you do it anyway, even if you don't feel like it,
you'll be doing whatever the hell you want at that point.
You'll be doing what you want. But we've probably been on here talking for quite a bit, and we've said a lot. So this is going to be the end of this video now. Hopefully, eventually, this is actually going to be a live stream where you guys can view this live, and when we're sitting here talking and responding to you, instead of just talking between ourselves.
Yeah.
Or if we even have somebody on a guest, I will always be welcome to the fact that somebody comes on here once we get this going as an actual live stream. Yeah. You message me, or my very well co-host here. We will talk about it. And if you have something nice, if you have something you want to say that's on your mind that you want to be heard and you want a chance to be heard, I am totally okay with that. And we will figure something out, because that is exactly what this is meant to be, to help you guys out. I'm here to try and aspire to be a motivational speaker for a reason, because I would like you guys to be in the same mindset that I've started to get into. So without any more talking, we're going to end this now. So have a good day. No matter what time you're viewing this, wake up tomorrow, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am an absolute badass and I'm going to do anything that I want to. So without further words, any last words that you want to say to the people?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, that's it.
I was totally zoning out for a minute.
Well, that's it. So we will see y'all in the next video, because there'll probably be a next one posted up. We'll probably do one of these hopefully once a week. Well, we'll see. But I'm constantly ranting now, so I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace.
We have a 138 in progress. Take this out!